In this training session, we're going to look at how to invoice a sales order. So up to now, we've already created a sales order and we now want to invoice our sales order. So we make sure we select the correct sales order and then we click on the invoice option. Here, we can't change the customer, but if we had additional addresses, we can change that. We can change our date. We can specify a delivery method. An order number you will see that will come through from the sales order. We can change our rep. We can fill in a little memo, or we can enter a delivery note number. We can even specify a different warehouse if warehouses were switched on. Now, over here, you can make changes to this, or you can leave it as is. I can, for instance, they can say originally they ordered one, they might now want more or less. Now in this case I only have one quantity, so we'll leave it as is. Remember, this is the standard invoice screen where we can use the calculator, we can add a long description, we can look at item details. If you've designed flash reports, you can look at that now. You've got processing display or processing and print. You even have your extra charges if you've created your extra charges under company details that you can use. So this is the standard invoice screen. If I now say process and display, it will open our preview for us where we can email or print or export into any format you desire, and then you close it. Now what has happened is this sales order has disappeared from this screen because I have got the history option on. You will see there is my invoice or the sales order that I've invoiced. You'll see that it shows up, the font color is in blue, which means it's a fully invoiced sales order. If you've got a sales order showing up in green, and I edit this, you will see that it was invoiced. There's an invoice date, but I've got an amount here that remains, which means at the time that I originally invoiced this sales order, I didn't have all the quantities available. So now I can take this sales order again and I can invoice it separately. Just want to close my sales order. So if you've got a partially processed invoice, you can invoice this sales order and you'll see it only brings up what is still available. In other words, what remained on the sales order, and then you can process your sales order. And that will move that partially processed order to history as well. If history was not on, you would have seen it here and it would have been displayed in a blue font color. And that concludes talking about the invoice option while busy with sales orders.